What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the best trading platform on YouTube, right? Where we actually show you guys how to do it. Where we actually show you how to do it. Not once, not twice, but you know what? Almost each and every single day. Well, okay, not every day, but every week, right? You can still go back and just find yourself watching our content. You know what? This is where I just want to show you guys that the methodology that I have, it is something that is consistent within the market, right? It's basically my plan, right? But I'm showing each and every single one of you how you can utilize this methodology on your own as well. All you need to do is literally watch my content, like and subscribe, share this content around, and you know what, do it on your own as well, right? So without wasting your time, let's get into it. So starting off from our daily time frame, right? One thing that we can see is that, hey, you know, we are actually going back and forth with price. I actually would like to see some bullish momentum still finding itself opening up, right? I at least want to see price take out this previous day's high, right? As we can basically look at week structure, like on Friday, right? This is Friday's candle, yes. On Friday, we basically failed to take out Thursday's low, right? But today, we can basically see that we also find ourselves leaving some relatively equal highs at price right over here. If we're going to go to the lower time frame, you're going to see so much more clear, right? But we left equal highs right over there. We left an actual inside bar over here as well, right? So I would favor price to take out our previous day high right over there. And from current PA, it is around about 130 odd pips to the upside. So, you know what? That is still a possibility for price to find itself, you know what, opening that up. Looking at our H4 time frame, our H4 time frame is actually painting us still somewhat of bearish momentum, right? But hey, you know what? All we need to find ourselves doing is just follow PA, wait for our methodology to find itself opening up, right? So these highs right over here, hey, my apologies, they are quite relatively equal high in, well, equally high in my eyes, right? So I would like to see price basically take out those highs right over there. However, like I mentioned, you know what, I need to find myself being quite reactive when it comes down to price. Now on the H4 time frame, we can basically see that we still do have 48 minutes for this candle to find itself closing, right? So if we can find ourselves having a closure below this BOB right over here, I would then be like, okay, cool, I was wrong. We can see some further continuation moves back towards the downside before potentially seeing some upside momentum when it comes down to this beautiful pair called the Nasdaq, right? The H2 time frame is basically painting the exact same picture as what we have on the H4 time frame, right? If we can have that closure below, this will simply fuel some more continuation moves back towards the downside, right? H1 time frame. H1 time frame is also painting the exact same picture, that if we can see the closure below, this will basically fuel us having a further continuation move back towards the downside. But since we have not found ourselves having a closure below, you know what, the longs, it is still valid, right? The longs is still valid. So now the next question will literally be, is it making sense for me to be looking for some beautiful longs when it comes down to this pair called the Nasdaq, right? So this is where I'm going to scale down to my lower time frame, which is my 15-minute time frame, right? So on the 15-minute time frame, looking at our highs over there, at this current moment, I can already see that we do have some relatively equal highs coming through right over there, right? So with us basically having some relatively equal highs, this is me basically being like, we do have liquidity resting above this area right over there. Many people may look at it as, you know what, a double top formation right over there. Yes, you are not wrong with saying that, but you know what, with me basically seeing a double top 9 times out of 10, we will find ourselves taking out those relatively equal highs as it is now basically being presented at this current moment right over there. So you know what, it does make sense for us to be looking for some beautiful longs when it comes down to this beautiful pair called the Nasdaq, right? um looking at what price found itself doing, price basically found itself coming all the way back down, back into an area of demand. Check that out. We literally just tapped into the area and then we had a beautiful shift back towards the upside, right? Currently, it does look like we want to have some sort of an actual bullish momentum, right? So the New York Stock Exchange will find itself coming through at half past, right? So there is still a lot that can find itself happening within these few minutes, right? We still do have 16 minutes left for the New York Stock Exchange to find itself opening up. We can potentially even see a dip back towards the downside before even seeing that shift back towards the upside, right? So I am not too, I'm like this at this current moment, right? I'm like that. Even if we're gonna have that shift to the upside, create that higher high, I think then I will be more confident with being like, hey, we can see that shift back towards the upside. But ultimately, you know what, our higher time frame has painted us the picture that we haven't found ourselves breaking below that BOB. We basically pointed out, right? So if price would have found itself breaking below that area, this is when I will be like, you know what, we are changing market structure. We can find ourselves having a further continuation move back towards the downside, right? But as if now, since we are still traveling within that area, you know what, I still do want to see some beautiful longs finding itself opening up. All right, so looking at the 5 minute time frame, you know what, the exact same thing as well. We can see that we just took out that high right over there. So I won't be shocked if we can maybe see something like this opening up throughout the New York session, right? I will actually favor something like that to find itself opening up. Let's wait for the closure right there. We do have a closure. So with me basically wanting to see some beautiful long opportunities, right? I want to see the lows being taken out, right? It should be this low, but if we can take out that one as well, you know, it's perfectly fine. But ultimately, I just want to see price have a closure with, well, a closure above this correction we have found ourselves creating, right? But before we have that closure, I need to see the lows basically being taken out before I can be like, you know what, I am gonna find myself looking for some beautiful, beautiful long opportunities, right? Scaling to our lower time frame, right? The 1 minute time frame. So the 1 minute time frame, if we're gonna have that closure below, we can see that we can potentially find ourselves creating a bearish breaker, right? Something like that. But I'm not too interested in price if we would have to find ourselves creating that. No, right? I would be more interested if we can basically see some sort of an actual momentum like that, right? But ultimately, I just want to see price have that closure above the 5 minute candle and well, this 5 minute correction, and then I would be like, cool, I am bullish. I am basically looking for some beautiful, beautiful long opportunities, right? That is it. That is literally it when it comes down to my bias and when it comes down to what I want to see over the course of today, right? Now, fam, listen, one thing that came up this morning was the fact that sometimes when you take a trade, right, and it is a winner of a trade, it does not mean that you were correct, right? It does not mean that you were correct when it comes down to your bias, because you could simply just haven't had found yourself following your rules, right? And all of a sudden that was a trade that just went your way. And with the trade basically going your way, you think that you were correct and you think that you should be doing that next time as well, right? And then next time comes and then you find yourself taking a L or a streak of losses, basically following what you had found yourself doing previously, right? Now, I want you to keep in mind that even if you are finding yourself taking a loss, that does not mean that you took a bad trade, right? Even if you find yourself taking a loss, you could literally just find yourself following your strategy, following your methodology, and it just so happened that that day you were wrong, right? That day you were wrong. It does not mean that your strategy is not working, your methodology is not working. It's just that you were wrong that day, right? If you are going to be wrong for the next 2, 3, 4 days as well, cool, you were wrong, right? But most importantly, you have to find yourself tapping within the market and make sure that you have found yourself learning from the mistake or find yourself learning from what found itself happening within the market. Because sometimes it's literally just a seasoning a change in seasoning inside the market. Sometimes you will see that the breakers, they are finding themselves coming through quite frequently and they're just being tapped and shift. Sometimes you will see that fake outs find themselves coming through, right? And when fake outs is finding itself coming through, this is 9 times out of 10, like especially now in quarter 3 and quarter 4, right? This is where we see some fakies coming through, right? So with the fake outs basically coming through, this can literally lead to you finding yourself taking an L. This is you having some deeper drawdown. So, you have to adjust yourself to the conditions what the market is finding itself having or basically providing to you, right? And most important, have a plan, right? Have a set rules that you are going to do on a day-to-day basis. If you don't have a set rules, then I don't know, like I don't know. I honestly don't have something for you, but what I do know is that you aren't gonna find yourself having that consistency inside your trading, right? If you don't have a set plan, how are you gonna be disciplined, right? How are you gonna be disciplined? Because to be disciplined, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. And with you having a plan, you have to have data backing up what is ever happening within this plan, right? It's like an experiment. You have to have a hypothesis, right? And then after that, you are going to be, with the hypothesis, you're going to be like, all right, my methodology, is it working for me? Yes or no? Now the experiment starts. You now are going to build as much data as possible. Now, when you have the data, now you are going to formulate, okay, what is working for me? What is not working for me? Why is this not working for me? Is it simply because of, I don't know, A, B, C, D, and E, right? Now you're going to look at A, B, C, D, and E. Is there a way how I can rectify these wrongs so that it can go hand in hand with what is working for me, right? And once you have that settled, and now you come to a conclusion, you're going to do your formulation, well, you're going to do your experiment again, right? And after that, now you're going to have a conclusion. Is this for me? Yes or no? Conclusion. Bang. Yes, this is for me. Now you have your rules. Now you have data backing you up with your rules, because now you can actually see what is happening. What can you expect when it comes down to your methodology, right? You know what you can expect. You know that you are going to find yourself taking some losses, but you also know that you are going to find yourself taking some wins as well, right? So it is super important for you to have a plan. If you don't have a plan and you are just simply finding yourself watching me, cool, watch my content, listen to what I'm saying, and make some notes, and just find yourself just go find yourself doing some back testing, right? Just go do some back testing. That is it. That is all that I am asking from each and every single one of you, right? That's literally it. So having a plan is super important when it comes down to your trading, right? Make sure you have it. And yeah, that's the little message from my side. That's the message from my side. So once you're gonna take a trade, be aware of why you are taking the trade, and just stick to your bias, right? And it's super important. I always told my community that, hey, if you are gonna come to the charts, don't come to the charts with two biases, right? I'm gonna buy price, or I'm gonna find myself selling price, and I'm gonna find myself selling price. Now, come to the charts with that bias of, I'm gonna look for some longs, or I'm gonna find myself looking for some shorts. That's it, right? Because 9 times out of 10, when you find yourself being like, you want to do both, right? You maybe look at market structure and everything, right? You like, oh, I'm gonna go with it. Yes, this is the one. So now you are finding yourself tapping within the market, and then this happens. Bang. Right? And now you're gonna be like, oh, okay. No. I was wrong. There's a bearish breaker now. There's a bearish breaker now. Okay. Okay. I think this is the one. This is the one. This is it. This is the one. Right? I think this happens. Bang. Right? Now you took a L with the longs, and now you are taking an L with the shorts, when in actual reality, all price found itself doing was taking liquidity on a higher time frame. Now price found itself giving you your actual opportunity. And you know what? This was the moment where you should have found yourself taking some beautiful, beautiful longs, right? That's when you should have found yourself jumping out. So even if you did find yourself taking an L on this trade, you are going to be patient and you are going to wait for your pattern to find yourself opening up once again. And then you're going to find yourself going long, right? You're not going to be either or. Like, you're not going to be like, I'm going to look for some longs and I'm going to find myself looking for some shorts. Nah. This way you are literally finding yourself reducing risk as well, right? You're reducing your risk. You are literally reducing your risk, and you are now going to find yourself looking at quality setups instead of quantity. That you want quality setups. You don't need to find yourself trading each and every single day, right? Every day don't need to be a trading day. You don't need to do that. You can just wait for 1 week and 1 day for your opportunity to find yourself opening up, and there you go. Cool, boom, whatever, right? No one is going to judge you for that. No one's going to judge you on that. All that you need to find yourself doing is just get something that is working for you. Ultimately, that is what I'm trying to say, right? That is all that I'm trying to find myself saying. So we do have around about 5 minutes left for the New York Stock Exchange to find itself opening up, right? So looking at my 1 minute time frame, 1 minute time frame is basically fueling my 5 minute time frame as well, right? So if we aren't gonna find ourselves seeing that closure below right over there, perfectly fine, right? Perfectly fine. Then all I want to see on the 1 minute time frame is basically this little correction we find ourselves creating right over there to be violated, right? To be violated, bang, and then find itself having a closure above, and then find ourselves looking for some beautiful, beautiful long opportunities, right? Actually, this area right over there, apologies, right? But ultimately this area needs to be violated, and then we have to have a closure above, and then we're going to find ourselves looking for some long opportunities. All right, but if we just gonna find ourselves coming all the way back down, shift back down, cool, then this simply means on the 5 minute time frame we are taking out those lows, and then I just have to wait for the pattern to find itself opening up once again, and then only I will find myself participating with some long opportunities, right? Hey, is my methodology hard? Is it hard to understand it? Like, to me it is quite straightforward. It is simple. Maybe because I am finding myself doing it on a day-to-day basis, but for each and every single one of you, let me know in the comment section, is it hard to find yourself understanding what I am saying? Is it hard for you to see what I am doing as well? Right? Let me know in the comment section. I will actually appreciate that. I will appreciate that. And also, you know what, if it is not something that you can see whatsoever, point out what is the part that you don't understand, right? Point out what is the part that you don't understand, because at the end of the day, this platform was built for this, right? We aren't influencers or anything like that. We are actually traders, right? We here for the charts. We here to do what we need to find ourselves doing on this thing right over here, because we here for the long run, right? We're not just here to be like, hey, next month I'm done, next year I'm done, or 5 years I'm done. Nah, you know what, we here to use this forever, right? Because keep in mind, like, even if you are finding yourself being inside a working space, right, a 9 to 5 job whatsoever, you can still find yourself doing this what I am showing you, because all you're gonna find yourself doing is just wait for that one thing to find itself opening up at a specific time, which is now the New York Open. You're just gonna wait for that one thing. So all you need to do is sacrifice just a little bit, right? Just sacrifice a few minutes of your day. Go to the loo, right? Go outside. Ask your buddy to be like, yo, cover this up for me. I just need to quickly take this trade during the New York Open, right? I just need to find myself waiting for ABC. Boom, you are inside your actual trade. You do what you need to find yourself doing. You don't need to be like, hey, when I'm gonna take the trade, when is this thing is gonna open up? Nah, you know what? 9:30 is coming. You have volume inside the market. You wait for price to open up what you need, what it needs to find itself opening up. You participate with price if price is showing what it needs to find itself showing, and that's that. That's that. Right? Nothing simple. Well, nothing complicated, and just just find yourself keeping it really simple. That is it. That is it. That is literally all you need to find yourself doing. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. All right, so we have like 1 minute left for the New York Stock Exchange to find itself opening up. Right, we have 1 minute left for the New York Stock Exchange to find itself opening up. So what I will do is box out this area. I like the fact that we did create a volume imbalance right over there, which is also like an extra confluence that what we can potentially see us having that shift back towards the upside. Let's see if our risk is making sense. 20 pip risk, that's decent for a nice little 40 pip. A 40 pip move to the upside, that's decent for me. To me, that is decent, right? So there we took out that low, that little correction we previously had. So now all I want to see is a closure above retest. Long we go. All right. So we're just being patient. So now we know that that low on the 5 minute time frame is now basically being violated, right? We now know that that low on the 5 minute is being violated. Cool. So let's wait. And if the pattern doesn't find itself opening up as if now, then just be patient. Just be patient. Just wait on it. Like with this example, check this out. So many would be like, oh, D, we have a high, higher high. There's the lower low, right? So price basically took that out. So they will look at it as a bearish breaker to find themselves basically going short, right? Stops is above. But yeah, I just don't look at it like that. I just simply don't find myself looking at it like that. And to those who are finding themselves even going short from that area, not cool. You are in some nice, in some nice profits. You are in some nice profits, but I do know that I want to see some nice little longs finding itself opening up. So I'll just be patient and waiting for my opportunity to find itself coming through. Look at that. So those lows are now basically being violated. Also violated that low right there. So that's clean. That's clean. So let's wait. Look at that. So now them who found themselves going short RIP, you know what I'm saying? Like your stop loss is hit. Your stop loss is hit, right? So keep in mind that that was the volume imbalance we basically refer to, right? Still do have this area over here as well. Let me get out that from the high to the low. All right, so I have to adjust my stops just a little bit. So we're gonna make it 30 pips. All right, let me just do this quickly. 30 pips. So we want to see 60 pips on itself coming through. All right. So all we're gonna wait for is basically the closure, the retest, and then you know what? We want to see 60 pips in our way. So we're waiting back for that. We're just waiting on the pullback. Also, if we're gonna have that closure above 5-minute time frame, is also finding itself giving confirmation that, you know what, the long is on. So yeah, that's pretty clean. That's pretty clean. We're gonna have that closure above the box. But let's wait. For 5-minute time frame, confirmation is given. All right, 5-minute time frame. All right, bye. Long we go. All right, so we are long. So now all I have to find myself doing, be patient and wait, right? Wait. The reason to why I basically increased my stop loss is simply because of this last down close candle right over here, right? Which is basically serving as an area of demand. So I basically want to see price at least come back into this area, like tap into the area, simply because we also have this fee value gap, right? So the body, right, 9 times out of 10 price come to the body of it and then have some sort of a bounce, right? So yeah, I just have my stops below the body, right? So all I have to do at this current moment is just be patient and just wait. So let me remove all the noise. We have two down close candles, right? Which is basically nice for me because this simply means that this could be the correction, right? For the next impulsive move back towards the upside, right? If I can maybe go on the 5-minute time frame as well, check this out. Check this out on the 5-minute time frame. This was basically that little correction, right? Including this candle right over there, right? Including that one. So this was our correction. There we found ourselves violating the section low. We found ourselves having a closure above as well. So, and we actually left a BOB as well. So that's like double confluence. So our breaker basically found itself opening up. And now currently all we are doing is retesting it so that we can have a further continuation move back towards the upside. All right. All we need to do is see a closure above this area, right? Because if we have a closure below, then this simply means that we are faking out from that area over there, which will leave us into trouble, right? Which will leave us into trouble. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. All right, fam. So we find ourselves taking an L on this beautiful Monday, right? Took an L on this Monday. So check this out. We actually did find ourselves having the closure below. We actually did find ourselves creating the fake out. Look at that. We came back for the retest and we just had a further continuation dip back towards the downside, right? Took the L, is what it is. You know what? Just like I might mention, this comes with it, right? It comes with it. I just have to find myself adjusting to what is currently happening with inside the market. I may find myself having another entry, like maybe like later onwards, right? Or maybe just even after this setup. But other than that, you know what? I hope you guys find yourself taking away something from this content. It's me, your boy D. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm out.